Today, and we have Commissioner John Henry with us, and along with Mr. Henry is Jason Burns from Eddy County. We've been talking a lot about the roads, and you were telling me off air that pretty much was the major topic of discussion for the county commissioners yesterday.
Yeah, quite a bit of what we discussed had something to do with roads. I mean, we did go over our ICIP plan. That's what we send to the state every year. It's projects that we're trying to complete that, you know, kind of like the one he just spoke about, where we're trying to get some monies to maybe help us get through those. So quite a few of the projects on there, of course, roads, loops, trying to get money so we can get those completed. One of the ones that kind of affects Artesia, obviously, is you know, the county's always done a really good job partnering. You know, I think Jason and Byron have a really good relationship. So the most recent one I can remember off the top of my head is 26th Street.
We did 26th.
So the county brought 26th all the way to the city. The city finished it. It worked really well together on that one. Well, we're doing it out in Industrial Park, where the county's going to help us with some roads. We're connecting to them, and I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, but it's a good partnership to where we get a whole lot done, both sides.
It makes sense, and it's mutually beneficial, and that, you know, we really like to encourage those partnerships and projects that are mutually beneficial. And like you said, me and Byron's great to work with, and we did it on 26th, we did it on 13th, and we've got some more we're talking about right now, and it really works. And on his, and it doesn't make sense, you know, okay, yeah, we're gonna do a project and end it at the city limits. I mean, when you've got another 200 feet to get to a major intersection, I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
So, you know, it works really well when we're able to do these things, and Byron has had the design done on this and has really been working hard on it, and we're happy to be able to partner on it and pay the portion to get it to the intersection and make it a complete road. So those things really work out.
And this is in the industrial park area, so that there can be some expansion there. And
right. Yeah, because we obviously got that new piece coming in pretty soon. So, you know, I think that's real important that folks hear that and understand that there's some great communication amongst the two to get a lot of good things accomplished. I mean, so many folks, you can't be separate. You've got to work these things together for the greater good, right? I mean, if it's good for Eddy County, it's good for Artesia. And the same thing goes in Carlsbad. I mean, if it's good for the cities, it obviously is good for the county as well. So, you know, it's really nice to see those. I like to highlight those because a lot of times there's some great partnerships happening all over the place that don't get the recognition that they need and kind of deserve on how well these departments work together. I think people think there's a lot of, oh, well, we're this, you're that. No, it's not that. I think that doesn't really work within. So that's a great project that's going to be done. You know, as far as that kind of hits the whole deal. There was a few reclassifications of jobs, some simple things here and there. You know, the one other thing I was telling you off the air that we kind of, I would say was a mutual discussion on the comment section, so not really a discussion, but comments, is the overall disappointment from the county on saying, basically to the leadership of New Mexico, you know, we see the federal government, we see the president going across seas to beg for more oil. It's a little frustrating to see when you look at the good men and women here in Artesia, Eddy County, Carlsbad, that are great partners in the oil and gas field, that have great jobs in oil and gas, and can do it. We can do it right here. It's cleaner, it's safer. We've talked about that a number of times. It's more environmentally friendly. All that good stuff. But then I also get frustrated because not only do they not support that oil and gas, but then they don't give the recognition to oil and gas for all the great things they do. I mean, we've got school coming up. You're going to see oil and gas all over the place, helping schools get going, help school kids, helping the meals. I mean, everything that they do in the community, in the county, to participate because of the partnerships they have with everyone. And so it's really frustrating and disappointing to see, again, nobody up high in Mexico stood up and said, hey, Mr. President, we can do it right here. I mean, you see Texas going crazy saying, hey, we can produce it right here. Nothing from here. And New Mexico needs that recognition because we are a major producer. We've got some great things happening in the state of New Mexico that are completely ignored. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. It gets old when we have major issues that completely are ignored by our leadership. You know, we've talked about the border a number of times, but look at what Sheriff Cage has done with his the task force. Look at the fentanyl and the things that, if y'all have been following that on Facebook, there's been some huge deals that our task force has busted, and they're coming straight across that border, and we're getting no help. We're doing that. You know, he's doing that himself. So.
Yeah. Well, I think he's also doing some active shooter training
Absolutely.
for the general public, which is
yeah.
probably pretty awesome to have some of that available.
Yeah. So down here, we're actively participating, trying to make our communities better, and trying to be a voice for them. And I think when you get up higher, and this isn't a shot at just anybody, it's a where are we at here, guys? I mean, we've got some great, and they're so excited to have all this revenue coming in, and how are we going to spend it? How are we going to spend it? Well, if you don't start supporting that and it goes away, y'all aren't going to have revenue. And then we're going to be like, well, where are we going to take it? Because they're going to have to start doing sweeps again, and we've been in that situation before, and they need to remember that.
Yeah.
They need to remember what happens when that oil and gas monies aren't there.
Right. Well, I know Eddy County has, and I think the different people in the industry have brought in folks from like South Dakota, which has had a boom and bust.
Yeah.
And said, here's what we did.
Yeah.
Here's where we messed up. Don't do this.
Right.
I think isn't there some talk? I think where did I read this? I read a little bit. There's going to be a constitutional amendment for New Mexico to pull some permanent fund money for some classroom education project. And it'd be interesting to see if we get the text of that legislation and say, is this something is that really what the permanent fund is for?
Right.
And a great chunk of that permanent fund money is money that comes from oil and gas industry.
And why are you touching it? What's the point in touching permanent fund right now? When you have the revenues you have coming into the state, why are you needing to go to the permanent fund, which is there for a rainy day, and it's not raining right, well,
Yeah,
no pun intended, literally. It's not raining right now. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't understand their thought process on why do you have to spend every dollar we have to those types of, when there's other monies available to support that, and why all of a sudden has become important. I mean, I haven't seen a big push in education in the years that she's been there. She's tried a few things, but, you know, New Mexico, she's got to get focused. We've been last for a long time. I would start asking the teachers and superintendent. I mean, I've sat with, and granted, we're very lucky. I know Jason's from Carlsbad, but we're very lucky to be here in Artesia, and we've got incredible teachers and incredible superintendents with incredible ideas. I know we're not the only ones out there. I'd like to think we're at the top of the list, but start asking some folks, hey, what can we do? But I don't see that happening. You know, I see us appointing people that have no idea what they're doing in that role, and moving, and it just doesn't work. You've got to put strong people around you that actually know the part, and I wish we were doing more of that in New Mexico, because New Mexico deserves better, and our kids deserve better, our families deserve better, and we can do better.
Well, it's probably hard to get any kind of conversations going on, any serious conversations with state folks now, because we are going into an election cycle.
Right.
And so, you know, who knows what's going to happen in November, if anything's going to change, or, you know, what, and we can talk about that. That's a whole nother discussion. But just from a planning and budget process, I'm sure there's not a lot of conversation that goes on between now and this, and between the county and the state at this time of year.
Oh, right now's the time to get them to commit to things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, you're up for election.
Yeah. No, actually, now, even though it is an election, I know we're working really hard on LFC meetings and all those types of places to go and make sure that we're heard, make sure that the projects we're talking about are talked about. And so, yeah, even if it's an election cycle, we still want to push hard. So if they do stay or whatever happens, they definitely remember us.
There are a few of us. We do very well about communicating with our legislators, our electeds, and our state level folks. So we stay in contact better than most other, you know, counties and officials. So we do.
Yeah.
We do a good job with that.
Now, do you guys kind of peer across the county line over into Lee County? You talked about working with, like, the mayor of Carlsbad, the mayor of Artesia, and so forth. How is there any kind of cooperation that goes on with Lee County? Are they?
Oh yeah. I know, at least on public works side, Corey Needham's great to work with. We've actually done some projects in conjunction with him too, and I know Al stays in pretty constant contact with Mike over there, and so yeah, they face the same challenges I know their approach is different than ours. We like to engage the state and our legislators and go try to be an active role in it, and they kind of
don't stir up anything.
out of sight, out of mind. Just let us do our
Yeah.
So it's two approaches, but Lee County is a very strong advocate for the same things: the oil and gas, the public works, the funding, and good partners. They support us in most everything that we go and try to stir up. So,
and I would say that goes both ways. You know, Commissioner McCutcheon and I went to one of their meetings recently because some of the things that they were trying to do that they wanted us to come on board. So, yeah, we've got an incredible relationship with our counterparts in Lee County. So it's not just commissioners, mayors. I mean, we've had meetings with all kinds of different folks over there. So, because you're right. I mean, like I said earlier about Artesia, Carlsbad, and Eddy having to be on the same page. I mean, we've got to be a united voice to make sure our voice is heard. So
Sure.
yeah, it's really nice to have Lee County and those kind of partners.
And then I read where the waste isolation pilot plant went through a new contract phase for somebody to operate it. Has the county commission had an opportunity to meet with or have any discussions with the new folks that are going to be operating that facility? Or is that still fairly new information right now?
And that's the whole tech. Is that what we're talking? Or
no, he's talking. DOE just announced they awarded a new M&O for WHIP.
oh god, that one.
And it was awarded to, and I don't know the name of the company,
I don't have it right
but
now.
it's not the NWP that's been out there for the last 15 years or however many years they've been out there. So it's a new contractor coming in to.
It has been a new nuclear waste partnership, NWP, but their contract expired or wasn't renewed, and they've got a new entity.
Right,
that,
and I know they're finalizing that. I mean, there's some finalizations that have to happen there before that's a done deal.
Yeah.
I know it's been out in the public, but it's not a signed, sealed
Okay.
deal yet. But it has been awarded. So
I mean, it's in the county, and so I didn't know if that has moved to the point where they've been reaching out to the county officials yet.
No, we went out a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
and did a little tour out there and some stuff like that. But no, I haven't heard about that one.
So
I've
it
some other
hadn't got
stuff.
to that stage yet, but that'll
Yeah.
be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, we got about a minute left. Anything else, Jason, John, you'd like to mention here before we?
No, just again, quick reminder. I mean, you got the fair coming up next week.
That's
so
right.
lots and lots of activities. We had the fair present to us yesterday. Lots of big names, big concerts. I mean, they went big this year. I know my daughter's super excited. That's her music, and that's one of the band or guys she likes. And so, great stuff going on out there. They've changed some times, so make sure everybody pays attention. I guess they're trying to get it to where he said yesterday to where maybe it's more in the evening and not as hot. Hopefully. So please pay attention. It's a little bit different, but they've really done an incredible job this year getting a whole lot of extra stuff. So they always do a great job, but I think they've even going bigger this year. So we're excited to see that.
Yeah. So we're ready to be out there with our trailer and do all the video stuff that we're going to be doing next week for them. So
Yeah.
we had our scheduling meeting yesterday on who's doing what.
Right.
And I didn't see my name on there a lot, so I'm like, yes,
That's a good deal.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah,
there. So
yeah.
don't worry about that. Jason Burns, John Henry, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Gene.
sir.
All right, that's it for the 8 o'clock hour.